caved. The Democrats caved. What are you? I have tried to calm down so many times to record this video, but Senate Democrats, it's official. They are actually voting with Senate Republicans to reopen the government and got absolutely nothing from the longest government shutdown in history. What was the point of doing this in the first place if you weren't actually going to care about the Affordable Care Act? What does getting a vote in December mean for the millions of people who are going to experience an increase in their healthcare premiums of $100 to thousands of dollars? If you were going to cave that easily, if you were going to be that soft, if you were going to, what was the point in America going through this in the first place? What kind of stunt is this? Whenever you guys get on my page and you try to say, oh, I'm so biased, I'm so this, I'm so that, I will say what I actually feel regardless of what party they are a part of. This is not something I agree with. This, try to keep it calm,
Emotional damage.
I think Chuck Schumer, his days are over. If he cannot keep his caucus together, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced.
Water is wet. The sky is blue. The Democrats caved. What else is new? I have so many thoughts about this. In case you have missed it, I think it's 10 senators. I haven't even gone through the full list because they pissed me off. But it's 10 Democratic senators have agreed to a deal with the Republicans to open the government. And it is they let the Republicans play in their faces so much, and y'all knew good and doggone well that y'all not built for this. Y'all not petty enough for this. Y'all not strategic enough for this. Y'all don't stand 10 toes down enough for this. Y'all know that's who y'all are. So if y'all know that's who you are, then don't play in our face and waste our time for a month.
You think Chuck Schumer needs to go after tonight?
He should have gone a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. Yes. Yes.
And finally, there's something that we all can agree on.
You talk about aim and not meeting the moment, right? Every time he gets in front of the camera, the average Democratic voter out there screams, be done with you, be done. And this will only accelerate that.
For months and months, Democrats have been fighting to get the Senate to address the health care crisis. This bill does nothing to ensure that that crisis is addressed. I am voting no, and I will keep fighting.
Look, don't let them spin you. The Democrats caved. People have been asking me, what Democrats caved? I want to know. We need to know. Okay, so these are the Democrats who voted to cave to the Republicans. 8 Democratic senators are Dick Durbin, Maggie Hassan, Angus King, Catherine Cortez Masto, Tim Kaine, Jeanne Shaheen, Jackie Rosen, and John Fetterman. They joined the 52 Republicans in this procedural vote to reopen the government without a guaranteed extension of health care subsidies. Just a promise to pick it up and maybe vote on it in December.
Breaking news. Chuck Schumer needs to be replaced as minority leader for caving to Donald Trump. Look, I may be the first and only member of Congress to say this, but someone needs to start speaking the truth. If you're not willing to fight to stop premium hikes on 20 million Americans, then what are you willing to fight for? The Democratic Party needs to be strong. We need to stand up for the health care of ordinary Americans. The donors and the establishment won't like me speaking out, but I'm confident that you will have my back.
Republicans run the House, the Republicans run the Senate, the Republicans run the White House, the Republicans run the Supreme Court, as far as I'm concerned. This was a choice by Republicans to cut SNAP benefits. This was a choice by Republicans to cut ACA subsidies. This was a choice by the Republicans to gut the federal government and federal employment. Democrats had nothing to do with it.
Why is she sitting here acting like we, the American public, don't know that we need bipartisan support on these things, that the filibuster still exists, and that Democrats were going to have to cross over and work with the party who won? What do you mean they had nothing to do with it? They had everything to do with it. They did this.
To do with it. I want an opposition party. I think the Democrats caved. I think the Democrats let down the American people. And like you, Whoopi, I have absolutely no faith that the Republican Party will come to the negotiating table in good faith. You know, you do something like this, shame on you the first time. You do it twice, 3 times, 4 times, shame on me. Shame on the Democrats for even believing that the Republicans will, even vote on it. There's no guarantee in this New Deal that there's going to be a vote. There's no even commitment to have a vote.
Sounds like a great deal to me.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal. And this is not just about progressive Democrats. This is across the board, the entire party. There are members of Congress who have won Trump-held districts in some of the most difficult territory in the United States, who walked the plank and took innumerable risks in order to defend the American people, in order to defend Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, just to see Senate Democrats even consider acquiescing to Elon Musk. I think it is a huge slap in the face, and I think that there's a wide sense of betrayal if things proceed as currently planned.
How will House Democrats and Senate Democrats work together now if there is such a sense of betrayal?
I think that creates a real challenge, and that in and of itself, I think, is part of what makes the leadership of this moment so crucial, because this is a decision about trust. It is a decision about trust and cooperation, because there will be a day where the Senate will need the House to move on something, and if there is an erosion of trust and a breach of trust, such as what is being considered right now, it will make cooperation difficult. And we cannot afford to be in an every person for themselves kind of moment. We need to work together and as a team in order to usher our country through this very dark time.
It sounds to me like she is giving serious consideration to primarying Chuck Schumer, which will be something to behold. But this is what happens when you encourage the more extreme ends of your party. You have a bunch of people who are super, super far to one side instead of being more centrist, and they will go in, yes, and they will win the Democrat primaries with their far out their beliefs. However, when it comes to general election time, will they be able to win the general? They don't have the best chance of winning. Elections are won and lost usually off of the middle, off of those independents, those swing voters that can go either way. So if your party leans way too far one way or the other way, you're gonna wind up losing those critical voters that you need to bring you over the top of the mountain.
The point that Senator Schumer has kind of made is, the CR is bad, but a shutdown is worse. So how do you respond to that point?
That is, I cannot understate, I cannot underscore enough how incorrect that is. Because what this does, what voting for this CR does, is that it codifies the chaos and the reckless cuts that Elon Musk has been pursuing. The robbing of our federal government in order to finance tax cuts for billionaires is what is happening, and that is what Senate Democrats will be empowering if they vote for the CR.
The agreement that was reached tonight, what do you think it does to perhaps what we heard from President Trump, where he repeatedly claimed the Democrats wanted to give free health care to, as he put it, to illegal aliens, as he said. Now part of this agreement is to fund SNAP for another year. So essentially, should we revisit the claim that the president never really provided evidence for?
Well, look, in the beginning, Democrats absolutely did want to repeal part of the big, beautiful bill that does strictly prohibit illegal aliens from getting Medicaid benefits. That's a separate issue from SNAP. Look, what happened tonight is what's been happening. Republicans have repeatedly voted to fund SNAP. Democrats had been voting to not fund SNAP by, of course, voting to keep the government closed. And only a handful of Democrats tonight voted to fund SNAP. I'm glad those brave Democrats stepped forward to fund SNAP because people absolutely need it. If this were really about SNAP, if it were really about starving families, Democrats on Twitter and Democrats on social media and Democrats on some of the other networks wouldn't be having the meltdown that they're having tonight. But one good outcome here is that Republicans finally got their way. People will get their SNAP benefits, just the way the Republicans have been voting since day one. I'm shocked, frankly, that Democrats have been voting to defund SNAP. It's pretty shocking, really, that they held these SNAP beneficiaries hostage. And now, here at the end of it, again, it's all political. They got nothing. They held these poor people hostage and literally got nothing. They got nothing except a bunch of anxiety and a bunch of pain throughout the American people. Terrible.
You tell him, Scott. It was a giant waste of time. It hurt a lot of people, and it was all for nothing.
Well, Joe, you have to go back to what the strategy was at the beginning of the shutdown. There were two goals, both of which I support. One was standing up to Donald Trump. The other was getting some resolution on the ACA premium tax credit issue. The problem was the shutdown wasn't accomplishing either goals, and there was practically, well, there was zero likelihood that it was going to. In terms of standing up to Donald Trump, the shutdown actually gave him more power, Exhibit A being what he's done with SNAP and SNAP benefits across the country. Oh, by the way, Joe, you're going to love this. Guess who's getting paid during the shutdown? Not the park rangers or air traffic controllers, the ICE agents. Under special law, under that big, awful bill that they passed last summer, the ICE agents are being paid. Nobody else is. So standing up to Donald Trump didn't work. It actually gave him more power.
I love how Democrats are taking a victory lap for finally accepting reality and accepting the deal that it's been on the table for weeks. Reopen the government without any preconditions, and we will talk about any other priorities that you want. Again, Democrats shut down the government for 40 days, ended up in the exact same place, but with egg on their face. Democrats caved, and what you're seeing is a lot of Democrats in the far left, because the far left hand didn't know what the left hand was doing in this whole process, are mad. And I think you're seeing the energy, the money from the left going to be really taken out if some of these senators are not retiring, or we're going to be seeing a lot of pressure on Democrats in the House as well. Remember, this shutdown was solely about placating their left-wing base, nothing more.
Breaking news now. We have brand new numbers on what is going on at airports across America. And so we get these updates every little bit. I want to bring you this one. Due to the shutdown, the Transportation Department has slashed the number of flights by 4% across 40 of the busiest airports. And we know that they will feather in more and more percentages up to whatever number they need to get to almost slow everything down. So we're at 4% of the top 40 busiest airports, and that is making a difference already, but not if you're working without a paycheck. Travelers are seeing more and more disruptions as the government shutdown stretches on for this record-breaking 41st day. The latest numbers from FlightWare.com, more than 3,400 flights delayed today already, 1,700 canceled. So that's an uptick from just the beginning of this hour. Because there is already a snowball effect when that happens, we expect to see those numbers rise quickly now and throughout the day. We'll keep you posted.
And hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please ensure that you have hit that subscribe button. Yes, so let me not waste much of your time, and let's get right into what I've written down, the commentaries, the reactions. Sorry, I believe you have watched the video compilation of exactly what's going on, right? For Democrats, this is not a good show because I know you have also a lot of things to say. Please, all of you, put it down in the comment section. So they say that the Democrats have actually caved. They say that Chuck Schumer has folded. But let's just tell the truth. Let's just tell the truth. This wasn't about surrendering. Like, it wasn't about, like, giving up, surrendering. This was just a strategy. That's my opinion. I know a lot of controversies are here in this situation, in this topic. Please do so in the comment section. Okay? So in Washington, politics is just like a chessboard, right? And sometimes you move one piece and you win the game ahead. Or vice versa. Yes, the government has reopened, and you've seen the video clips compilation from all over the world, all the news and blah, blah, blah. Yes, and demands were not actually met. Yes, the government is reopened, but mind you, demands were never met yet. And this fight is not ending. I feel like the fight is not going to end here. It's simply just changing battlegrounds. It's not ending here. Democrats are not surrendering. That's my take. The way I've analyzed this video, that is the way I feel like Democrats are not giving up on this. Because Democrats have actually stood for one thing, and the other side, didn't. And according to how I see, I'm not an American, but how I see Democrats portraying themselves is they've stood with the American people. The paychecks of federal workers, the safety of families depending on government services, the dignity of citizens who can't afford to pawn in political games. And that's what they've been trying to fight all along. Okay? So, Schumer didn't actually blow this away. Schumer didn't embarrass you guys. Like, he protected lives while keeping the door open for another round. He's let his options. Like, I feel like they ran out of options to the point Schumer had to just let it be, while others are actually, others are actually playing games with people's livelihoods and etc. Democrats are actually playing the long game for the soul of the country, of its nation, of you Americans. And just a reminder, this is just my take, it's just my opinion, right? I'm not there in the field, in the ground. You tell me what you think about all of this. So call it what you want. Is it just a cave in? Is it a dumb, like a move? Is it just a climb down, a compromise? But history will call it what it really was: leadership under pressure. Leadership under pressure. Because real leadership isn't about winning every fight. True, is not. It's about winning which ones are worth fighting for next. And make no mistake, yes, I'm talking to you. Make no mistake, the next round is still coming. I feel like the Democrats are not giving up on this. They still have another strategy, another move that they are going to bring. Okay? And I don't know. Please talk to me in the comment section. What do you think? What do you think? Democrats are not going to back down. That's my opinion. They're regrouping, they're rebuilding, and they're going to try and rise again, even though right now they've gotten a blow. And for working for families, for justice, for just promising American citizen the best that they definitely think was good for them. So no, okay? This is not the end of their fight. That's my opinion. It's the beginning of a smarter one. It's the beginning of a greater fight, greater nation, greater country. And when the dust has settled, all this chaotic drama and all this nonsense, the truth will actually stand tall. Democrats didn't cave. They did not cave. They chose for the people. They chose the Americans. They chose the greater good. That's my take. Anyway, wherever you are, part of the world, please subscribe to my channel. Take care of yourself and love you.